A very unique day one from a training camp perspective. Obviously, it's a unique situation in the world, but getting out there, what did you think, and how was it to be back in Berea?
Well, it was strange, first of all. December was, 8 months ago? It feels like 8 years ago. And I've seen a lot of coaches yell at a lot of players on those fields, but I've never had to see them take off a mask before they do that. But, just three guys that stand out from the little that we saw. Austin Hooper is big. You notice that in person. Kareem Hunt looked fast. Larry Ogunjobi looked like one big ball of muscle. So I'm looking forward to this week when you actually get to lock in, see more and maybe watch a couple of different specific position groups. But I would say this, Nathan, especially from an offensive standpoint, I've seen a lot worse early practices than that. I thought they were pretty crisp. The ball was mostly thrown well, and guys were catching it.
What did you think of just Kevin Stefanski practice? This is our first time to see him, and I'm sure, he wanted to have a lot of practices under his belt before he goes out there, and obviously would have wanted to have the fans there, as he said, before the practice. But what did you think of the way things were organized, and was there a crisp flow to it, in your opinion?
There was, and you notice that. I mean, that's the one thing that's kind of common denominator or maybe uncommon in terms of, especially early, you just want to see guys getting where they want to go. At one point, Stefanski came walking way over to where the defensive linemen were working out, which is kind of where I was standing in front of. And because he's wearing the mask, until he was 10 yards in front of me, I didn't know it was him. We're new at this, right? So I'm used to seeing new guys out there. So like I said, I thought it moved well for our first practice, and we'll see, when they start getting more guys walked in. But I think the theme was keep it simple, and as long as it was fast, as long as it was crisp, there weren't guys on the ground. There weren't a ton of passes on the ground. And those are positive things just for seeing a first practice, especially when this is supposed to be like a May 20th practice, and it's taking place on August 14th.
It really is unbelievable. Yeah, your May 20th practice is happening less than a month before the season opener against the defending AFC North champion Baltimore Ravens. But you mentioned the offense. You thought it looked crisp. Baker Mayfield, I thought, some very insightful and really revealing comments prior to yesterday's practice. First of all, what do you think of his words?
Yeah, Baker is an impressive guy. He's a confident guy. Last year, he wasn't. He had a couple of blow-ups. Sometimes after the games, I thought he looked down, and of course he did. He was disappointed. So he's done the right things with his body. I think this offense fits him, and it's just a matter of getting all this timing. So really the only negative right now, Nathan, is just not having Treader, needing that offensive line to get the reps. And so I think with Nick Harris coming in, whether it's for 2 weeks or a month, whatever it's going to be, you try to get him ready, and then there's a message to the rest of the young players in that, and it's the guys. Like, you're only one snap away. So if he can be up on the playbook, the other guys better get there quickly, because we know, unfortunately, there's other guys that are going to get hurt. There's a guy we're not expecting who's not going to make the team. There's going to have to be stuff. There's circumstances that take place at every training camp. So if you got a fifth-round rookie ready on day one, that sends a strong message to the other guys that you better get ready to.
Absolutely. And, it's obviously a big thing to have Bill Callahan here to help with Jedrick Wills at left tackle, but also, as you mentioned, Nick Harris stepping in there. And one of the best compliments I think he could have received after talking to some people after the practice, they didn't notice that it was Nick Harris playing center, which is, I think, as an offensive lineman, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. So, Joel Bitonio comes and plays a bigger role here because he's been there. He was the guy that when he was a rookie got to play between Joe Thomas and Alex Mack. That was a pretty good deal. Now he's between two rookies, so that's scary. But you do believe in your offensive line coach. Conklin has played a lot of football, a lot of big games. You just need to rely on those guys to get them ready. And then, again, as we've seen here, it's not just plan B you have to have ready. It's plan C and plan D. And I really do trust this staff and this regime, more than I would have previous ones, to have those guys ready. This year, you just don't know who it's going to be. And, sometimes, Nathan, or actually most times, 90 guys in camp, right? You can look and say he's not going to be here. He's just filling the time. Well, 80 guys in camp, so my public school math here, 53 guys, 16 on the practice squad. Unfortunately, we're going to see more injuries. We're going to see more change. Like, every guy has to get ready for 4 weeks from now. And so that's not a real comforting thought, but it should add urgency to what's going on here early in camp.
Yeah, 11 guys. Really, you're going to have 69 of this 80, so it's everybody's got a chance. And as you pointed out, everybody's got to be ready to play. Going back to Baker really quickly, what did you see from him on the field yesterday?
Well, I saw the one deep ball to Jarvis, and obviously it's good to see Jarvis doing that, because I think we were under the impression that he was going to be limited. And maybe later you'll sit him, but he doesn't want to. But he's a guy that has proven production. And like I said, I thought Baker threw it well. So I'm more interested in a week, 2 weeks, as they add things to Baker. And you want to see just the confidence.